ever wondered how the first self-government in America came to be? Let's travel back in time to the year 1620. Picture this: a group of people known as the Pilgrims were on a quest for religious freedom. They packed their lives into a ship called the Mayflower and waved goodbye to England, setting their sights on Virginia. But as we know, life is full of surprises. The winds of fate had other plans for these brave souls. Instead of the familiar landscapes of Virginia, they were greeted by the untamed wilderness of what is now known as Massachusetts. Imagine their surprise, their confusion, and perhaps even a hint of fear. But the Pilgrims were made of stern stuff. They knew that to survive, they had to adapt, to find a way to live together in this new world. This unexpected change of destination led to the signing of a very important document, the Mayflower Compact. So, what exactly was this Mayflower Compact? Well, let's imagine for a moment that you're on a ship in the middle of the ocean, sailing towards the New World. But, oops, you've landed somewhere you didn't mean to, outside of the territory of your home government. What do? That's the predicament the Pilgrims aboard the Mayflower found themselves in back in 1620. So they decided to come up with an agreement among themselves to govern their new colony. This agreement is what we now know as the Mayflower Compact. The Mayflower Compact wasn't a detailed constitution or a set of laws, but a simple agreement. It was an understanding that every adult man on board the ship would have a say in the decisions affecting the group. They promised to stick together, to make laws that were fair, and to obey those laws. This might seem obvious to us today, but back then it was a pretty revolutionary idea. See, the Pilgrims were a mix of people. Some were separatists, seeking religious freedom. Others were adventurers and merchants, hoping to make a new life in this unknown land. But despite their differences, they all agreed to work together for the good of the community. The signing of the Mayflower Compact was a momentous event. It was the first time in American history that free and equal men voluntarily agreed to form a government. They didn't have a king telling them what to do. They didn't have nobles or lords making all the decisions. It was just them making decisions together for the benefit of their community. And though it was written over 400 years ago, the Mayflower Compact still holds an important place in our history. It was a first step towards self-governance, a concept that would become a cornerstone of American democracy. The Mayflower Compact set a precedent for self-governance that would echo throughout American history. Why does the Mayflower Compact matter, you might ask? Well, let's dive into the significance of this fascinating document. The Mayflower Compact is more than just a piece of old parchment. It's a pioneering document that laid the groundwork for self-governance and majority rule. Now, self-governance means that the people who live in a place get to make the rules for that place. They don't have to wait for a king or queen far away to tell them what to do. And majority rule, that's the idea that the most people agreeing on something makes it the rule of the land. Imagine you and your friends are playing a game and you need to decide on the rules. If most of you agree that the person who scores the most points wins, then that's the rule. That's majority rule. The Mayflower Compact was the first document to use these principles in the New World, and they became a cornerstone of American democracy. But that's not all. The Compact also helped the Pilgrims survive their first difficult year in the New World. You see, life in the New World was tough. The Pilgrims had to deal with harsh winters, food shortages, and conflicts with Native Americans. The Compact helped them stick together and work as a team. It made sure that everyone pitched in and did their part. Without it, the Pilgrims might not have survived. So, it's safe to say that the Mayflower Compact was pretty important. It was a beacon of hope for the Pilgrims, a guiding light in their challenging journey. It was an agreement that everyone would work together, no matter how hard things got. And it laid the foundation for the democratic principles we hold dear today. So the next time you think about the foundations of American democracy, remember the Mayflower Compact, a piece of paper signed on a ship by a group of brave pilgrims, paving the way for a new form of government.